Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another ZillionsClub.com podcast where we are here in the beautiful jungles of Tulum, Mexico. We got the monkeys, we got the lizards, we got the birds with the yellow breasts, we got everything, baby. And today we have, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Connor, straight out of Philadelphia, 20 years old?
Just turned 20.
Just turned 20. Oh my gosh, do we have a podcast for you guys today? So we have been going over a lot of information. We've been in Tulum, Mexico here, which is just gorgeous. This is your first time in Tulum?
Yeah, correct.
And you're staying here for how long?
Whole month.
The whole month?
Yes.
Selling virtually?
Yep.
How much money did you make last month?
$12,000.
And you're how old?
20 years old.
We get paid every Friday. It's not just twice a week we get paid. We get paid every Friday. Friday comes, payday. How much you get paid yesterday? Yesterday's Friday.
$3,700.
$3,700. My brother, to be honest, man, I get on you a lot. You know, our job is we train young men. We try to help you guys a lot. But where you are at 20 years old, and I hope you take this like straightforward, seriously. Like, you are light years ahead of where I was at 20 years old, bro. Mm-hmm. And this is why this business is so amazing. And what we specialize in, not just virtual sales where we show you how to sell and make a lot more money than probably the BS W-2 job that you're working right now, whatever it may be. But we also take young men and we show them how to be better men. We show them maybe the things that they weren't shown just because of society and the way that things are nowadays. We take a lot of pride here at ZillionsClub.com in actually showing people the right way. And this is somebody who's had immense growth the last couple of months and has only been with us for how long, would you say? 5 months?
Coming up on 6.
Already promoted to a supervisor at your job.
Correct.
Already you're on point to make over $140,000. And that's bare minimum as a 20-year-old living in and out. You just moved to Austin, Texas, from Philadelphia to Austin with our boy D Nix. Shout out my boy D Nix. What's up, baby? I love you. I wish you were here. And you're in Austin, Texas,
yeah,
which is a little bit warmer than Philadelphia.
A lot warmer.
A little bit different than Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about a couple things, Mr. Kyle Connor, but really at the most, bro, I want you to start thinking about in your brain, like, not just the system, because our system is so foolproof. We figured out the system. There's a certain cap. We give you free leads. We give you a script to read that works. It's undeniable. It's been around for 70 years. It works. It's proven. If you're watching this and you know me, you know that I came from simply nothing. My car had a flat tire. I was paying for gas with quarters. To now, we're in Tulum, Mexico, and I've brought so many other people to success, including this young man. But it's not just the script and the system and the leads that cause success. Obviously, there's a certain level that it brings you. And then it's almost like that level's right here and the person has to take it to the next level. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that. My brother, kind of give the podcast just a little bit of a debriefing on who you are, where you're from, so they know that they can trust you. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people, they immediately see a young man making money. What's the first thing they think? Either 1, scam, either 2, mommy and daddy's money, or 3, they find whatever excuse they probably want to come up with. Give us an idea of who you are, where you're from, and the situation that you were in when we found you and where you're at now.
I'm from the Philadelphia area.
Go Eagles.
I got kicked out of my home at a young age. Lived with my aunts in the basement. Dropped out of college. Was in a lot of debt. Was smoking weed all the time. Basically, just to sum it up, rock bottom.
Yeah.
That's all about me, man. That's what was before, and what's now is what's now.
Yeah. So I remember when I first interviewed you, you had just crashed your car, mm-hmm. totaled it, mm-hmm. on some wannabe Fast and Furious shit, like you youngins always do. And you were just, your girlfriend broke up with you.
Yeah.
A lot of young men come into this business and maybe they're not in the best place. Like I wasn't in the best place when I was 23 years old. I had just got evicted from my apartment in Little Italy. I was in debt from college as well. I dropped out from college because I was going to Cleveland State for physical therapy. The pandemic happened. I couldn't work at any restaurant because all the restaurants shut down. And then being a physical therapist when you have to stay 6 feet away from somebody didn't really make any logical sense. So I was also at rock bottom. And being at rock bottom, I remember interviewing you, bro. And I remember telling you, if you remember. Kind of break it down for somebody who's watching this right now that maybe is going to slide up on Kyle Connor's story on their Instagram and say, hey, listen, this podcast actually really helped give me some transparency and clarity. I want to know exactly what do you guys do and how can I get involved? Kind of explain to them that first step.
First step, honestly, just taking a leap. And I express that so much, a lot of people don't realize, you got to do things sooner or later. I thought about it. Sat back and I was like, eventually I'm going to hit 30 years old and I'm going to say, man, my life is shit. I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta get working.
Yeah.
And at that point, opportunity is very limited. And at a young age like myself, there's a lot of risks that I'm able to take. So I figured, might as well take those risks now. And clearly it's paying off, you know.
And there's a certain level to it because, well, for an example, man, you're 6 months in and you've already been promoted. You're one of our youngest essays.
Yeah.
We have Connor Hogan, who's doing $60,000 months of personal production. We have a 19-year-old kid that's making 60 grand a month. And then we have you. You're the only other 19-year-old that was promoted, 20-year-old now, that was leading in such a direction where we trusted you with the leadership contract to the point where if anybody doesn't know what that is in this business, you're closing deals at such a level where you're making $13,000 a month in the first month of the new year of 2026. We say, wow, you've disciplined yourself to learn this skill at such a high level. We trust you to be a supervisor and train the new people we have coming in. And this is, guys, a business that's brand new. It's 2026. It's only been virtual for about 6 years. When people think about the California gold rush, did that only last 6 years? Absolutely not. When people think about Bitcoin, did that only last 6 years? Absolutely not. When people think about e-commerce, drop shipping, Amazon drop shipping, whatever it may be, did that only last 6 years? No. You were in the pioneers and one of the youngest people in the pioneers of insurance virtual sales that is taking the bulls by the horn, and you were promoted to an essay because of how well you performed right off the rip. And I don't think people realize that it's not too late to join this. So in your eyes, what does this opportunity mean to you, and how do people take advantage of it?
Honestly, the opportunity to me means everything. It's my lifestyle. It's why I'm able to travel to Mexico. But not only that, but you get to help younger individuals like myself be a representative of the youth, and actually be able to guide and direct younger individuals into making more money than their parents per se.
Yeah.
So the opportunity does mean a lot for me. And I wish I could just instill that vision into other individuals, but that's not necessarily the case. You got to guide them, you got to show them the way, you got to show them proof in the pudding.
Lead from the front.
Exactly, lead from the front, and that's what I take pride in. That's what I do on a daily basis, is just lead from the front. Make sure that my guys see my vision and they adopt my vision, so that way they work towards the same goals as myself.
Which is really interesting because you have, I love your team, bro. Man, I've gotten so much time with such incredible people. And the older I get, the younger they get, unfortunately, bro. I'm only 29. It's just funny, man, because life flies by. I remember when I was 20 years old and I was like, money wasn't even on my mind frame. I had accepted that I was going to be broke. I was like, mommy and daddy aren't going to be able to pay for college. I'm lucky if I can graduate college and get a $50,000. I was like, yo, $60,000 a year? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? You made a sixth of that in the month of January, more than a sixth of that from when I was 20, and I thought that going to college was a good idea. And you have people like Kyle Schneider, you have people like C. Millie.
C. Mill, shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out Schneider too, man.
Your guys' people in that area, which, we have Ben and Casa's team doing so well on the East Coast of like New Jersey and Connecticut, New York. You guys are the Philadelphia area, and this has not been tapped into in the slightest bit. So the people that become the pioneers of this industry within that area are certainly going to be millionaires. Not lightly put. It's a very serious business. It's a lot of serious, legit money, right? Like, I'm from Cleveland. Cleveland was ransacked left and right by Mark Selvaggi. Shout out Coach Tiny. So good at recruiting that if you even slightly said insurance, it was already known what the company was. Me and Ian Zolas, because I'm nothing without my boy Ian, somehow still became millionaires in the deal even after the city was ransacked for 20 years by SSPS. The recruiting was so still abundant each generation. And this is a generation of the first wave of virtual sales within that area that's never been touched. And I guess the whole reason for this conversation is to help somebody else understand maybe you're at rock bottom too. Maybe you're in a position where your life is just not going the way you want it to go. And we are simply trying to show you that we also are from the same grounds as that. And we want to show you the system that we have curated into the absolute most efficiency where you can be a 20-year-old kid. You could be making $12,000 a month minimum. It's the first month of the new year. We only grow. That's the lowest income month he's gonna have in the entire month of January, and he's gonna be living in Tulum, Mexico for the next month, selling virtually, and he's probably gonna make 15, 20. I mean, you made how
already
much?
on track to make more, 3,700 already this month.
My main ambition for this podcast and this website and this zillionsclub.com is to show people that maybe are, skeptical on the aspect of this business, of what it can do for you. Because obviously the whole mission is to grow and grow the business. That's any business needs to scale. But the finer mechanisms of it is always going to be the ramifications for giving this opportunity to more young men. And so my question for you is, I guess, as we continue this conversation is, you live in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. Where you came from, Philadelphia, things were tough, rock bottom, to where you are now. You're living with a certain D-Nix, right?
Yeah. Shout out D-Nix, yeah.
Give me one invaluable lesson that has nothing to do with money, because we all know you make great money, brother. You're living here in Tulum. Mm-hmm. You just got a new spot, huge house in Austin, Texas. Where, man, Austin's sick. If you've never been to Austin, it's my favorite parts of the travel, this job. All over the world we're going, bro.
Mini Nashville.
Austin's badass, dude.
Yeah.
Nashville's sick. My brother, what's one invaluable lesson, despite the $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 a month that you're making as a 20-year-old kid, which, by the way, F you, because when I was 20, I wish I was doing that. Give me, one invaluable lesson that's nothing to do with money.
I was waiting for that question, actually. I think latching on to a mentor.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And that's the whole reason I did end up moving to Austin, Texas. And, I can use you as an example, but for now I'm going to use D-Nix, okay? D-Nix, he brought me in, brought me under his wing. And actually, I was at rock bottom. He paid for my groceries for 2 weeks when I moved out there, and taught me everything I know, developed me into the man that I am. And, we're still learning, still developing. He still helps me, still guides me.
Can I pause you? Why do you think, out of all the people that we get, probably 60 to 80 people a week, which is a ton of people, applying for this position, trying to get mentorship, specifically from D-Nix. D-Nix is an ASRV athlete. He's a fitness model. This dude has more followers and more girls and more sponsorship deals and more content than you could possibly imagine. And the kid is just untouchable. I shouldn't call him as a kid. He's a man. The man's untouchable. Yeah. I love D-Nix. Just my Padawan, bro. What do you think was the reason he and I flew you to Austin, Texas, paid for the groceries, and mentored you for so many months to get you back on your feet, to show you this business and mentor you like that? What do you think was maybe the reason that you provided us a certain level of value to where we saw the investment as obviously worth it?
Younger generations, and maybe even a spark, You got to find people with that spark, that drive, but you also need, representatives like yourself, you, Mitch. You guys are veterans, and other veterans look up to you. But if you have,
Is he calling us old?
maybe a little bit, but the younger generation needs representatives too.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for example, Connor Hogan, myself, Carter Brzezinski, prime representatives of younger people doing it in the business.
To the next generation too, it's pretty cool. So like, for an example, we saw you as kind of like the next level. My question is though, like, why do you think? Because I know the answer actually. I'm just trying to get it from you. Why do you think we saw something in you that was worth all this time in it? Like, I don't sit with a lot of people that are new agents, new recruits. I'm a millionaire by 27, self-made. I travel around the world. I have fuck you money. I don't necessarily flex it like that. I'd rather give money to charity. But my time, I certainly don't give it to charity. I use my time wisely. That's how I got in this position. Why do you think I gave you an hour of my time the first week?
Saw something in me.
I can answer that question for you.
I need it.
D-Nix calls me. He says, hey, I got a guy for you. I need you to talk to him. He's super talented, but his mentality's shot. And I go, well, why is he super talented? And he says, 'cause he wants more in life, and he's made it very apparent. You wanted more in life. You made that very clear to D-Nix. I did not have a conversation with you at all. I didn't know who you were.
Yeah. I want to latch off that because, I actually was in the middle of trying to get out of college. I hated it.
Dude, honestly, fuck college.
Yeah, fuck it.
What is college, bro?
You know what?
It's
You
a
know,
fucking
what
scam.
college was for me was a learning lesson to the world of scam. And people try to talk about this as scam, but the real scam is college.
Dude, for real.
And that's what I realized, and D-Nix brought me under his wing, and I wanted more. I was broke, I had no money, I lost my girlfriend, my car, my house.
Is college going to bring those things back in 4 years?
No.
No, dude. I always say this. College, give it 4 years. You're probably going to be addicted to alcohol, probably have the freshman 15. You've been drinking Natty Ice for the last 4 years, you fat piece of shit. And you're probably going to be addicted to drugs, caught in the clap a couple times. Let's be real honest with each other. I got a couple friends and family that are maybe in college, and this is how it goes. I went to Cleveland State. This is damn near a glorified community college, and I only went for 2.5 years, and I paid my way for it. I didn't get no scholarship, and I didn't get no parents, mommy and daddy money to pay for it. But it's pretty much summer camp where you go, you pretend to learn something, you end up maybe graduating with a degree, which that piece of paper, we all know, doesn't do anything. Jack shit. And then so you end up with a bunch of drunk idiot friends that love to do drunk idiot friend stuff. You're fat probably, and you're in debt $120,000 to $200,000. Here at ZillionsClub.com, a 4-year degree here looks like this. Within 4 years, I was a millionaire. My body, I went from looking like Fat Aquaman to like looking like the guy from 365 Days. Shout out that guy. That guy's got me a lot of clout. Thank you very much, my brother. I think it's Miguel Meron, whatever his name is. To money saved in the bank, residual income, $2,000, $3,000 a month, whether you work or not, and a skill set developed of sales where you now know how to sell everything from the mailman to the guy at the front desk to the police. We just got away from the Mexican cartel today. That's a story for another podcast. And long story short, a network of people that are surrounding you to become the best version of yourself within your mental, your spirit, your money, your physicality, and it's how you live your life, brother.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what I realized. That was my eye-opener, was you are who you hang around. And in college, I just took a step back, and I realized I was like, none of these people are dream chasers. They're just chasing alcohol, bitches, drugs, and I didn't want to chase that. I wanted to chase money, and money and health and mentality and growth.
Correlate to each other.
And that's why I surrounded myself with winners who do the exact same thing that I'm trying to do, that I currently do.
And D-Nix is certainly that.
He is. That's
and you
why
certainly, I would consider a winner in our business. A 20-year-old SA supervisor in this position, leading people from the front. $12,000 of income last month with no, let me remind you, lead spend. We don't spend money on leads. The company covers that for you. We teach you how to become the most efficient person within the virtual sales business. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Rich, Kyle Connor himself. God bless you, brother. Let's get to the right of the future.
Thank you, Chris.
Let's go. God bless you, dog.